Neolithic societies were the first sedentary societies in the world. These groups of people had a social equality order. That means that everyone were equal. That means that there were no differences regarding to the richness or the power between people. They decide together what to do in case of need. In this case, they met together and took decisions in meetings. In these meetings, the elders' opinions were the most valued, probably. These people, the elders, that means the most ancient in the group, were valued because of their knowledge, because they know a lot, because they have lived and loved a lot. In case of war or attack, these people choose one person to leader in the battle. This person could be the chieftain. Chieftain is a word that we use to design the military leader in case of war. The society changed, but changed too the beliefs and the religion. If you remember, we have talked about the differences between the mind of these people after the change between a predatory economy and a producer economy. This change of mind provoked a change of religion and beliefs, and for the first time we are going to see gods and goddesses. Now they were like persons, they were like women and men, not like animals anymore. Persons, humans, became more important in the art and in the representation of the gods and goddesses. And here we have the first goddess that we know in history, the Mother Goddess, or Diosa Madre in Spanish. This Mother Goddess was worshipped in several different kinds or ways. These Mother Goddess were always represented like a woman, usually dressed or naked, very frequently sitting on a throne or on some kind of surface. And it's very interesting, for example, this one that was found in Cataluyuk. You can see the woman sitting on a throne, and in this throne we can see here panthers or lions. This symbolizes the control of the Mother Goddess over nature and the wild world. This Mother Goddess was worshipped in several places, but we have another kind of worship too. This is the ancestor worship. That means that these people consider very important their ancestor. That means their ancient relatives that were dead. Why the dead became so important and why the burials of this dead became so important? Well, it's a very simple reason. The only way to show that you belong to a place for several years and generation is having in this place a lot of people buried before you. So a community could show to another that the land that they have belongs to them because there are a lot of graves, a lot of people of this community buried in this land. So ancestor became so important to show the others that the land was yours. And they are going to worship these people in different ways. But one of the most interesting or weird ways is that the dead mask, for example. They used the skull of the dead. They took the head of the dead after a lot of time when there were only bones. And they cover the face with mud and try to make a portrait of this person. And these are going to be this mask on the houses, inside the houses. Sometimes, for example, we can find burials inside the houses. I told you that was very important. And this, for example, is an example. You can see the hole. This was not there. This is a hole that the archaeologists did to get the burials. That was covered like a normal floor. And the people live here over the dead. And under them, under the floor, was the dead. This was very frequent in this time. But another important thing related to religion is the appearance of the temples, the first temples in the world. If you remember when I told you, or when I explained you things about Çatalhöyük, I told you that there were sanctuaries or temples inside the town. Well, we are going to find too several temples, big ones, very huge buildings in the middle of nowhere, dedicated to the gods and usually very frequent to the sun and to the mother goddess. This mother goddess, for example, was venerated here, or the sun was venerated here. And one of the most interesting things is that these temples were perfectly orientated to get the sunlight perfectly here, coming through the corridors and the gates, to get the most sacred place in the temple where the goddess or god were, in some season or some days along to the year.